It's all about your loving, sweet, sweet loving God. No matter where we go, your love we proclaim. Some look for love in a vanity, search for it in all the wrong places and calamity. That's what them cause for themselves is such a tragedy. But true love is in the Almighty, Jesus the Lion of Judah. Oh God, your love is so sweet, so good and so great, and I can do without it. No, 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 not anyway. Nothing can separate me or pluck me out of your hands. Oh Lord, I give you praise. Yeah, your love is like a fire that burns within my soul. Your love is like a fire, yeah. Your love is like a fire that burns within my soul. Your love is like a fire,
A fire.
SPR Live FM, Fun City Radio FM, Success Radio, the Praise Life Morning Show.
This is the Praise Life Morning Show, Fun City Radio FM, Success Radio, SPR Live. And we not only live on, we decided to go camera-wise today.
Yes.
We want to make a statement.
Facebook and YouTube Live.
We want to make a statement. And that statement really is, and I'm going to say it here, I've been following these folks for quite some time.
And who the folks are?
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Is it Black Lives Matter Foundation? Or, because there seem to be so many out there.
Yeah, it's Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. That's really their name. Yes.
Okay, right. But when you look at who they are and what their agenda are, the narrative is totally different from what we see it as.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you too, as I said earlier, I was down on doing a delivery at somebody's home, and I saw Black Lives Matter on their lawn, and I know they literally mean Black Lives Matter.
Right. The statement.
The
making
statement,
the
yeah.
statement.
So when they opened, I realized that it was a white home, and they're pretty much saying, "Hey." And she even greeted me, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" I said, "I'm good." I said, "God bless you." She said, "God bless you too." And we left. We parted ways. But when I go on to the Black Lives Matter Foundation, this organization, it's a totally different thing altogether. It has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. For matter of fact, that they have chapters all over the world. And it's connected to this thing that you're now showing me, especially if you're going to do the donation part,
Yes.
to Blue and all this kind of stuff. And you're thinking, what in the world is going on? So for folks, if you're out there, and I was a big defender of Black Lives Matter. Don't
So
get me
was
wrong.
I. Oh, yes.
Big defender of them, in the sense of hey, they're for Black lives, especially us men that are getting killed and blah blah blah. Especially when they start off their statement there. It originally started in 2013, based on Trayvon Martin and all these guys, and then when you look, it has a completely different agenda connected to the alphabet group.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't mean any dishonor by that, but I just don't remember.
It's a lot of letters,
right? So you have that, and then you find that they're connected to the Democrats, and then it gets even more convoluted behind that. And you were also telling me there's a gentleman who also started this before.
Yes. There's a gentleman, I think it's 2011 or 2012. Or no, you know what? It might be 2015, because Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation didn't actually start or I guess be registered until like 2016. So I think it was in and around 2014, 2015, this man in California started Black Lives Matter Foundation. And he was raising money. Well, he started it because his wife's ex-husband got killed by police. And so he wanted to bridge the gap between the police and the Black community. So he wanted to raise money. His initiatives were to have breakfasts, with the community and the police and create like a relationship type of thing. And so what it came out in June of this year, this month, that there's this Black Lives Matter Foundation that's not really the part of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And so I believe there was a court order given to him to shut it down. And I was like, why? You don't know. And also the money that's been held up. There's money that's held up for him, for his foundation. They're now going to take that money and give it to Black Lives Matter Global Network. Wow. So it's like, how can you do that? You don't know if people actually know this foundation and want to give to that one and not to the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation.
Right.
Like, that's not fair. Just shut his thing down if you want to shut it down, or make him change the name or something like that.
Right.
But let him, take the money. Whoever wants to retract it, let them retract it and allocate it where it needs to go. But don't do that to the man. And it's an older man. I think he's 67, I believe.
Well, this is when you have not just yourself, but you have a different type of people behind you, backing you. And they probably have all the nice lawyers.
Right.
The high-powered lawyers who can do what they want.
Right.
So, it always comes down to that, but I'm looking, folks, I'm just saying to you, look into the agenda, look at the group or the organization, Black Lives Matter, and see really, as a black person yourself, if this is what you want to be associated with. If this is what you want to say, hey, we're part of this. No wonder when you see things happening in these riots and these parades, it looks so disjointed and convoluted, because the people in there have a different agenda.
Yeah.
Right?
There would be a different type of mobilizing.
Exactly.
If they were really for the people.
Exactly.
Really for black people, there would be a different type of mobilizing. You would think that them starting this from 2015, like this slogan since 2015, really, you would think by now, being how much years later, 5 years later, they would already have some type of plan in place to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. This is how we're going to do it. For everybody that's just tuning in, Facebook and YouTube, quickly, Black Lives Matter is, first of all, I need to put out a disclaimer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this is not to bash anyone and their beliefs. This is to let people know and make them aware of the organization that you're supporting. You really need to support organizations that are and donate to organizations that are going to work for what you want it intended for,
Exactly.
So you need to look into it. You need to see if you agree with what they're doing, and you need to know that, okay, the money is going to be put forth to, a better, a good cause, and to, back to the community or wherever you intend the money to go to. Now, with Black Lives Matter, if you go to their website and you go into into what we believe, you will see a lot of talk about the LGBTQ, a lot of words like trans and queer. You will see parents, you will see mothers, you will see women, but you won't see men. You won't see the name fathers, the word fathers. It leaves out a lot of it, and it talks about dismantling this Western civilized nuclear idea of a family. It has these words, these phrasings that sound like you are not about abolishing racism. You're about abolishing the family, the idea of family.
Yeah.
Like, what are you really about, Then when you go to the donate page, you see, and then when you go to the donate, you click on donate, the actual the website changes to an Act Blue. It's not even Black Lives Matter anymore. It changes to an Act Blue. And Act Blue is a Democratic funding platform for social issues and for Democratic campaigning and all that stuff. It's like a GoFundMe for Democratic stuff, left-wing stuff. Anyways, you go to the site opensecrets.org, and that's a site where you can see all these charities and all that stuff. you put in Act Blue and go to Act Blue expenditures. When you go to Act Blue expenditures, it'll at the top it'll say election cycle. Put in 2020. I think it automatically defaults to 2012. Put in 2020, and you will see a whole listing of their expenditures to campaigns, to candidates. At the bottom, you'll see their top 10 contributions to Bernie Sanders, to Biden, and Elizabeth Warren, all these different names. And you're like, where is this money going, really? I don't see anything about Black Lives Matter. I don't see anything. And if it's a funding, if Act Blue is funding other social injustice, like not funding, but it's collecting funds from all these different platforms, that means all the money there is all mixed up.
Correct.
You know, so you're not going to see Black Lives Matter because there's so many other campaigns, so many other organizations that are using Act Blue as the holding place for money. And if you go to Act Blue website, you will see since 2004 they've raised, I think, is $5 billion or I forget how much money, but it's always going.
It's always going, yeah.
And to the Democratic for the campaigning, it was $1 billion they gave in the 2020 election cycle. $1 billion. Wow. Yes. It's there. It's there. You know? And then on top of it, because this is something that me and my girlfriends have been looking up for the past week. And then on top of it, my girlfriend said, oh my gosh, last week she's like, look at this article. I can't believe these people. And June 17th, 18th, an article came out. I think CBC here in Toronto brought it out, and CBS. I guess Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is now being questioned by a lot of people. Where's this money going? So now they came out saying that they have a $12 million fund, and this will go to helping organizations, grassroots organizations in the U.S. that are helping build back the community and all that. And I'm like, I thought that's what Black Lives Matter was for. Black Lives Matter, through Borealis Philanthropy and Forward Foundation, was pledged. Those two groups pledged $100 million from 2016 to 2022. Tongue twister. They pledged $100 million. George Soros and I think another group, another $33 million. So Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is set to get $133 million. I'm sure they got a portion of that already. So now, just now, they're opening up a $12 million, just a little $12 million for these grassroots foundations. Then on top of it, we know that they have different chapters and affiliates all over the country. And here in Canada, they have 3, Waterloo, Toronto, and Vancouver. Okay, I was like, Waterloo. But anyways, they have 3. And they said that for, I think it's the $6 million is going towards their affiliates. Now they have to apply. So they have to apply and they get up to $500,000. My question is, they weren't getting money before? So I think this is just an answer to all of the criticism that's coming forth now, because people know that, okay, this thing is a statement. So you have people that are just putting a statement forth, but they're getting all this back in Black Lives Matter. So when people hear Black Lives Matter, the statement, the slogan, and people aren't necessarily thinking, as you said, the organization, they're like, okay, let me just give money to this. But they're not realizing what it's all about, where the money is going. It's helping a political agenda, number one. And this political agenda is to further the LGBTQ community. And they're putting this whole thing into it's lives that are being lost at the hands of police, lives that are being lost unjustly, people who are being unfairly racially profiled. They're, all this stuff. It's not helping that.
No, it's not doing a thing for them. We're going to come back and talk about this some more. We have an interview to do right now with Highly Favored, and we're gonna take a break for that, bring in her song No Drops. But in the meantime, between time, check them out. Check out Black Lives Matter Foundation. I mean, are they ready for us? And then I'm gonna throw this in. And if you don't think it's worth it, Streaming Praise Radio need your funding. We got a whole pile of stuff we want to do.
Yes.
We want to see people fed, people get homes. we want to build a station big, you could pour into us. Go onto our website, streamingpraiseradio.com, sprlivefm.com, or sprlive.fm, and donate to us.
Yes.
We'll do a lot more. Trust me. And trust me, we're very transparent. If you want to donate to us, we're very, very transparent. Let's go to Highly Flavored Blake right here on the Praise Life Morning Show.
Highly Favored Blake. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. No bad signal, no trouble. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. You can call him up night and day. He's never too busy to hear you when you pray. Call him up night and day. He's never too busy to answer anyway. I mean said no bad signal, no trouble. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. No bad signal, no trouble. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. You can call him, 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 and call him, 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 and call him up night and day. He's never too busy to answer when you pray. Call him up night and day. He's never too busy to hear you when you pray. I mean said no bad signal, no drop call. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. No bad signal, no drop call. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all.
We're sorry, but the person you're calling is not available at this time. We're sorry, but the number you have called is out of service. Please try your call again later.
You can call him in Canada night and day. And call him in Jamaica, he will answer anyway. Call him in America night and day. He's never too busy to answer when you pray. I mean say no bad signal, no drop call. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. No bad signal, no drop call. Jesus on the telephone, I wanna tell you all. And though Canada I call, he will answer same way. Answer same way, yes he answer same way. Do Jamaica I call, he will answer same way. Answer same way, yes he will answer same way. And though Canada I call, he will answer same way. Answer same way, yes he'll answer same way. Do America I call, he will answer same way. Answer same way, yes he will answer same way. And though millions I call, he will answer same way. Answer same way, yes he will answer same way. Answer same way, he will answer same way. Answer same way, he will answer same way. No bad signal, no drop call. No bad signal, no drop call. You can call him, 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 and call him, call him, call him, call him, call him, call him, call him,
That was Highly Flavored and Flavored. Did I get it right? Highly Flavored, yes.
Oh
Highly
my
Flavored, yes. Songwriter,
Highly
singer,
Favored.
Highly Flavored. Did I say?
Favored.
Favored. Oh my gosh, Highly Favored. Take these glasses off. Let me see
I'm
right.
like, yeah, it's the
It's
glasses.
the glasses, yes. Singer, songwriter, musician, drummer, Nikisha Ann Maria Blake was born in Kingston, Jamaica on June 13th, 1981 and came to Canada in December 1995. Nikisha always loved to sing and was always asked by someone to sing a song. She started singing in church from the tender age of 10. Her first debut came out as a result of a momentum with the Toronto Raptors winning their first NBA championships, which led her to compose the song Golden State Got Whooped. On that same momentum, she immediately renamed the song to introduce her gospel single entitled The Devil Got Knocked, which debuted on June 19th, 2019. You know what? Let's bring Nikisha, Highly Favored, in. Give her a stage name, right?
Favored Blake.
Good morning, Highly Favored Blake. I'm messing up this morning. I apologize. How are you doing today?
I am blessed and highly favored.
There you
Oh,
go. Thank you
yes.
very much. I
Even though you're calling me highly favored, but guess what?
uh,
You're not the only one because that's become another thing with all the DJs and radio personalities. I don't know what it is, but I've been called highly flavored like so many times.
so I don't feel too bad then. I'm all right. I'm all
No,
right. I
you're
don't.
supposed to feel bad still.
Yes, yes,
Oh.
I'm gonna forgive you because you know what? I am indeed highly flavored as well.
Well, in that case, then I'm going to say highly favored. She's tasty too, right?
That is right. That is right.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about you and what's actually what God has been doing with you in terms of your ministry and things like that.
Yes, God is just amazing. I'm just being blown my mind. All of this just started last year. I've been serving God since I was 14. I got saved when I was 14. And, at church, you sing in the choir, and I'm the drummer at church. So I've been doing that behind the scenes, comfortable praising my God, doing my thing. But around about last March, I just find myself being inspired to write. I just begin to see God in everything around me. And so, I was just writing these songs, putting them away in my little book and never had any timeline set about, recording or anything like that. So, here comes the Toronto Raptors, all caught up in the wave of, getting to this point of coming to the NBA finals. And I was just at home making some little fun jingles on my keyboard about, Golden State and so on. And it was actually on my birthday on June 13th that they won the championship.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I said, man, I gotta go put this together, put this song out, take it to studio. So I went to studio and I put that song together, called it Golden State Got WAP, and but when I got there, it was like, wow, I felt so at home around that studio mic, and after I put the song out, it was just like a whole new thing opened up, and so right away I realized that was my calling to start, ministering, the music that God had given me to start bringing them out. So, from there that was just it, Right after that, I started releasing the songs that I'd been writing, but from the Golden State Got WAP's rhythm, right in my spirit, I got The Devil Got Knocked. So that was the first gospel single that I actually did.
Okay.
So, yes. And it just kept flowing from there. It was just, it's amazing, I always wondered how people wrote songs in terms of getting the melodies. But, we can write words on a paper, but getting melodies, for songs was something I didn't have a clue about. So it just happened, just suddenly that God just began pouring into me,
So I should say that you are a sports fan, a basketball sports fan, so to speak.
Funny enough, I wasn't a very big fan, but I just got caught up with everything else with Toronto, on the whole excitement wave,
Bandwagon.
Oh, so you're not a sports follower like Princess Play here, because I'm just gonna turn you over to Princess Play. You guys can talk basketball. Okay. I don't really. It's not that I think when I was much younger, I followed it, and then as I got older, I'm just I can't be bothered anymore. So I don't follow any sport except for the boxing and all those fighting sports, UFC, and then I realized, man, you're too old for that too. Step out of that. So my sons do that now. But so you are you singing around Toronto now as you should have been?
Yes, I've been doing quite a few shows. I was booked for quite a number of shows for the summer, but of course, COVID shut a lot of things down.
COVID shut everybody down, man.
Yeah, I had about 4 international shows to do.
Oh, wow.
And that got shut down as well. So kind of just doing things on virtual right now.
Where were those
But
shows to be?
I was scheduled for Cayman.
Okay.
I was for Bronx, New York. It was a Pollyanna Project charity show.
Okay.
Also in the Brother Gary Memorial Fest, I was booked for that as well. And also another show in Orlando.
Oh, wow.
So there was quite a bit of, So God has been doing some awesome things. It just blows my mind. it really blows my mind,
So
It's
let me.
amazing. All your life changes in a second because I was just doing karaoke.
Okay.
1 year ago, I had quite a bit of karaoke stuff that was just popping up on Facebook. Never had a clue the difference a year makes. You know,
It's true.
I have finished. I've recorded 30 songs in the 1 year span.
Wow. 30.
Yeah, 30 songs.
You wrote
Yeah,
all of them?
all of them written. God inspired.
Wow.
Right.
Things happen and just everything becomes a song. Like I'm a nurse, and so frontline staff reality. I was just on Facebook the other day, and I saw how New York was just breaking down. The nurses were just breaking down,
Yeah.
and who feels it knows it, and so that touched me very much. And I said, you know what, I got to do a song to boost their morale, and so I did a song called Frontline Staff Reality.
Oh.
So let me ask you a question. As a singer, a songwriter, a mother, now you're telling me you're a nurse, and with COVID, how did that really affect you during this time?
Well, definitely, things had to be adjusted and changed because, work on the front line, it's been quite hectic, all the precautions that we have to take and the anxiety on the front line because I work in a facility where we had positive cases, and so, for the grace of God, I did a song called "Me Not Worry About Coronavirus" because the worry and the anxiety is so high, amongst the staff and everybody, and so, but in my spirit, I just felt a peace, and so I did a song called "Me Not Worry About Coronavirus," and so everything becomes a song because the way I feel, and then inspired by, it becomes a song. So, but that it helps me to give me a peace when I express, what I feel in the music. So, but coming home, you got to come home and take more precaution around your family and so on because you're being exposed to the coronavirus environment.
Yeah.
So it definitely changes your lifestyle to an extent.
So,
But
so right now, are you planning on doing a full album? Is a full album out yet, or is it still?
oh
just
yes,
a
I
f-
just released my full album, "Breaking Me to Bless Me." That has 13 tracks on it. The one you were playing just now
Okay.
is on the album as well. So that album has 13 diverse tracks. You're getting roots reggae, you're getting up-tempo reggae, you're getting calypso soca style, you're getting Afrobeat style, you're getting praise and worship soul. So it's quite a diverse
Wow.
album.
Yes.
Yes. So "Breaking Me
Nice.
to Bless Me" is actually the title track of the album, and that song is also on there. Now, "Breaking Me to Bless Me," all of this started after I was broken. I was going through some stuff. It's like I channeled all my energy into doing something constructive. And so I took up a guitar. I said, okay, I'm going to learn guitar. So I took up a guitar. So I started learning from YouTube how to play the guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, and so, you know,
So
but
you're not only highly flavored, you are indeed highly favored. You're not just flavored, you're favored too. Because you.
amen,
So
praise God.
how good are you now at the guitar?
Actually, I've written about 3 songs just by a few chords that I've learned on the guitar. So it's a work in progress, but you're definitely coming along. So, I guess it's a little bit, I can say the music is in my bones, so if I just got to put some practice into it some more and I'll become better. But I've written a couple songs just from the guitar pattern that I've developed. So, yeah, it's amazing. But, yeah, YouTube, you can learn a lot of stuff from YouTube. So just from that, I learned
So
a
just
couple of chords, and from that, I got a melody in my head and, wrote a couple songs from that.
So before I let you go, you're songwriter, singer, musician, drummer, learning, aspiring guitar player, mother of 2, nurse. What's next?
I'm just awaiting what God has in store. I'm putting a lot of work into it while now we're on shutdown. I just now want to promote these songs because some people say there's too many. We put too much songs out. You drown some of the songs out, but all the songs are different messages.
Right.
And so they came in a manner. I just did a song for my birthday called "To Be on My Birthday." I lost 3 family members so far, but I just lost a cousin that was 13 years old, And so, I was just in this total grieving moment, and I wrote a song called "You're Gone, We're Missing You." So these songs were not planned, So if COVID happened, these songs came into the mix. Frontline Staff Reality, I lost my cousin. So, I told myself I'm not going to write any more songs for this year.
No, man. If God given you them, just write them.
Yeah.
Write them.
I'm
don't
writing them.
stop.
I'm
Don't
not going to
stop.
record anymore right now. I'm just
Okay.
going to promote what I have.
Right.
But yes, but I'm looking forward to a number of tours and so on in the coming season when things open up. I'm getting a lot of interviews, a lot of exposure.
Okay.
So I know God has a lot in store. So just
Amen.
continue to put in the work and wait for God's time. But definitely it's in this 1 year God has done a lot. Like the songs are playing all over the world right now. Sweden, Uganda, Caribbean,
Nice.
North America, so many states in America it's been playing right now. So I'm just waiting for, what God has next. But, I'm just very humbled by, what is happening.
Well, we want to
That's
thank you for your
amazing.
time, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot more of highly favored
Blake.
highly favored Blake, and looking forward to hearing what's happening with you next. Keep in touch with us, and definitely God bless you as you move forward for the new year.
I definitely want to say thank you so much for having me. I just want to tell the fans to check me out on YouTube. I got a number of videos out there as well. And I just want to say thank you to, all the DJs that are playing the songs around the world. My dad is very instrumental in helping me promote, so I want to tell him thanks. My producer, Dr. Rad, bless up yourself, and my graphic designer, Odin Whitaker. So a lot of work. It's been a lot of work, and of course, it's a team effort. So just want to, give thanks to everyone who's involved and all the support that I've been getting. And just thank you for having me. And yes, indeed,
All
for
right.
the next 28 songs.
All right, then.
And to all the frontline staff, hold the fort. God's got us.
All right.
Check it out,
Yes.
Frontline Staff Reality. That song is for us.
All right.
All
Okay,
right.
then. God bless you and have yourself a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
You too.
Blessings.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Highly favored right here. We have a praise party going on.
Clap your hands, stamp your feet to the beat. Let the praise repeat. Clap your hands, stamp your feet to the beat. Let the praise repeat. Praise party, we're having a praise party. Come into the praise party, jump into the praise party. Praise party, we're having a praise party. Come into the praise party, jump into the praise party. Yada, yada, holla, holla, yada, yada, holla, holla. Shabak, 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 shabak. Tehila, 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 tehila. Hallelujah, highest praise. 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 Hallelujah, 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 oh hallelujah, shabak, hallelujah, shabak, hallelujah, shabak, hallelujah, shabak, hallelujah, healer, hallelujah, healer, hallelujah, healer, hallelujah, healer, oh hallelujah, highest praise, hallelujah, highest praise, hallelujah, highest praise, hallelujah, highest praise. He was with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, yes, and the joy that we share as we tarry there
Yes, indeed, He is our shepherd. He walks with me, He talks with me, and this is what we need to do. We need to do. Princess Blair, thank you so much for joining me today, man. I
You're
hope I hope you
welcome.
come again. You know.
Yeah,
But-
I
but
will. I had
don't,
fun.
Don't wait for invitation. Just say I come in.
Really?
Yes, just say I come in.
Okay.
Because I don't want to wake you up because I know what it is like. I know what it
Let me
is.
tell you, everybody can hear my morning voice.
I know what it feels like, but anytime you want to pop in, just say, "Hey, I'm coming down today." No problem. We cool. We cool. We cool. It's a pleasure, and thank you for the information that you shared, especially on Black Lives Matter. I was a little timid in saying it because I know people get a little itchy about Black Lives Matter. But when I started seeing stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you kind of do the neck thing, like I'm not too sure what's going on here anymore.
Yeah, and some people don't even realize they have a website. Because I saw a conversation with someone that was like, they have a website? Yeah, they have a website. Go
Check them out.
look.
Check them out. Check out
blacklivesmatter.com. Yeah.
And read for yourself, educate yourself, understand who these people really are,
Yeah.
what their agenda is
3
about.
queer women.
Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with them being queer. They want to
Yeah.
be queer. That you be queer, where, whatever.
But
here,
you
there.
understand
But
why
understand
the
what's-
organization is what it is. Because these women are who they are.
Yeah,
What they stand for.
and there's another statement that's been made, and one of them said they are that, and they've been educated that way. They're Marxists as well.
Yeah.
There's a whole level of belief system there,
Yeah.
there, right?
Feminist,
You know,
Marxist. Yeah.
Now you have to understand, Marxist is kind of like something like socialism,
Yeah.
and people like to say
Communism.
that, people like to say that Jesus Christ was a socialist. But Jesus Christ's socialism is not like this socialism we have today, which is more bent towards communism or Marxism. It's more of a dictatorship. When because if you understand the principles of socialism is all are equal, all enjoy, right? But when it comes to communism or socialism, I mean, China was like that under Mao Zedong's rulership. Cuba was like that under Castro's leadership, where it's more of a dictatorship. They get the best of the best. You take what we give you and tell you everybody's equal, right? It's not we all enjoying the same thing. So it makes life a little difficult and different for them. So I understand, when people want to call themselves socialists, and I understand when they say, well, Jesus Christ was, but Jesus Christ believed in equality of everything.
Right.
Right? I mean, even down to the woman who sinned, he said to them, "Ye without sin cast the first stone," and everybody run. Right? So we have to understand, if you want to put Jesus Christ in the same categories of things, understand where he's coming from. He says, I didn't come to condemn you. Actually, I come to save the world. I came to die so that you can have life and life eternal.
Yeah.
And when we want to put Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, into that category of humanity, yes, he's total 100% God, 100% man. Hence the reason why he was able to carry out what he was able to do. He came for that purpose. What is your purpose? As Libby stated today, if you seek God and his kingdom, you will find out what your purpose is. The money goes very quickly. Things that you own goes up in flames just like that. But if you have a purpose in your life, nothing can disturb, nothing can stop it. I mean, somebody said to me, boy, if I never know you, one thing you stuck with at least for 20 years is with streaming praise radio. And I look back at myself, I said, I understood what God was telling me about this. And Janelle could tell you how many times I wanted to give up. Janelle could tell you,
I can
that's
imagine.
it. That's it. And then one day I said, God, this is yours. If it dies, I really don't care. And the minute I said that, I just see things happening. It's like, oh, this is out of my hands. Right? And I said to him, okay, I can't do this by himself. I need help. I need good people to come alongside.
Yeah.
And one by one, he began to. And there's some people who came, and I made my choice. And then he said, did I tell you to do that? I said, no. He said, you can pay a little bit for that. And I'm like, sorry. And had to pay a little bit of a price. And they disappeared, and it was all over. But, man, I thank you for being on board. Thank you for coming on board with us.
No problem. I had fun.
Yes, again.
I will
Folks,
be
what do you
back.
think? Send the shout out. I know, what's his name, Brother Aubrey is loving this.
Yep, Brother Aubrey. Big up, big up, big up, big up. I didn't get a chance to hail you up.
Yes, Brother
Thank you
Aubrey
for welcoming
sure.
me.
And I have folks that are listening from, we had the Philippines were in with us. The United States was in with us. We had Germany was in with us earlier on,
Wow.
and we had, of course, our Canadian listeners, and of course, we have Fun City Radio FM. They have their own listenership that also locks in with us, and Success Radio too. They lock in with us.
Oh, very good.
And we are still celebrating 2020. We're gonna go all the way through to the end, and possibly over into July too. Somewhat into July, we're gonna do some.
We're gonna
something
continue to
yeah,
celebrate
continue to
and
yeah,
big
man,
up
it's 20
SBR Live.
Yeah, 20
Yes.
years. 20 years. 20 years.
Streaming praise.
Praise Radio.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We gotta go. I know we gotta go. We got like 2 minutes left. Anyways, grace and peace to you all. Remember to put on the full armor of God as you go out today. Remember, the reason for that is so that you can stave off the schemes of the enemy. And be
Amen.
prayerful in whatever you do. Be prayerful. Be safe. Grace and peace to you
Yes.
all. On behalf of myself and
Princess Playa.
Fun City Radio FM, Success Radio, SPR Live. Ciao for now.
Blessings.